Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for tuning in for another deep dive into the most buzzworthy developments across the NFL, especially what's coming out of Dallas Cowboys Minicamp and some electrifying performances from around the league. One name that absolutely cannot be ignored this week is George Pickens. The Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver is turning heads, making noise, and quite frankly, dominating like a true WR1 should. We'll unpack how he's making defenders look silly, what's changed with his role in the Steelers' offense, and why this could be the breakout campaign that finally silences the doubters. On top of that, we've got a full rundown of everything happening at Cowboys Minicamp. That includes Dak Prescott's physical and mental sharpness going into a contract year, rookie quarterback Joe Milton's raw but undeniable talent flashing on the field, and new addition Jonathan Mingo starting to develop a promising chemistry with the rest of the offense. It's a lot to break down, but don't worry, we've got it all right here. Now let's start with George Pickens, because what this man is doing at Steelers Minicamp cannot be overstated. Reports coming out of Pittsburgh say Pickens has been virtually unguardable, burning cornerbacks left and right and putting on a clinic in one-on-one drills. It's not just media hype either. Teammates are openly praising his route running, footwork, and ability to make tough catches in traffic. Even Mike Tomlin, who is notoriously stingy with public praise, acknowledged Pickens' growth. According to insiders, Pickens has been lining up all over the field, not just the outside, showing off a refined understanding of the playbook and new formations. One specific clip from Minicamp went viral, where Pickens caught a toe-tap fade in the corner of the end zone with two defenders draped over him. It looked like a highlight from a playoff game, not a June practice. But it's not just about athleticism anymore. What's turning heads this year is Pickens' improved mental game. He's reading defenses quicker, adjusting routes on the fly, and has been seen communicating more often with Kenny Pickett pre-snap. This suggests a quarterback-wide receiver trust level that could pay dividends all season. And let's not forget, Pickens was already one of the top contested catch receivers last year. Now imagine that same explosiveness combined with improved timing, field awareness, and route polish. It's no wonder that multiple analysts are predicting a Pro Bowl caliber season, maybe even more if Pickett takes a leap too. And make no mistake, this development has the rest of the AFC North on notice. Now let's switch gears and head over to Frisco, Texas, where the Dallas Cowboys are knee-deep into their minicamp and the intensity is real. Let's begin with the obvious leader of this team, Dak Prescott. The veteran quarterback is entering what could be one of the most pivotal seasons of his career. He's not only seeking a new contract extension, but he's also aiming to quiet critics after a season filled with highs, lows, and far too many turnovers. But if what we're seeing in minicamp is any indication, Dak is locked in like never before. According to several beat writers on the ground, Dak is showing noticeable improvement in decision-making during red zone drills. He's threading tight windows with more zip and touch, something that was a focus for him this offseason. One insider even mentioned how Dak's footwork has noticeably improved. He's smoother in his dropbacks and faster transitioning through progressions. It's the kind of subtle but meaningful upgrade that often translates to fewer mistakes and more big plays come game day. There's a renewed sense of urgency around him. This isn't the laid-back Dak from past off-seasons. This is a guy who knows time is running out to deliver deep postseason success. After seeing what the front office did or didn't do this offseason, it's clear that they're putting the weight of the franchise squarely on his shoulders again. And to be fair, he's embracing it. Coaches have praised his leadership, and players are rallying around him. Even Micah Parsons gave Dak props this week, calling him locked in like a sniper. But as Dak sharpens his game, there's another quarterback getting some serious attention, and that's rookie Joe Milton. Now listen, nobody's saying Milton is ready to push Dak for the starting job. But what he's doing in camp so far is turning heads in a way that demands discussion. We already knew about his rocket arm from his days at Tennessee, but seeing it live at the professional level is another story entirely. During one drill, Milton reportedly launched a 60-yard bomb on a rope to a streaking receiver in stride, drawing cheers from teammates, and even a whistle blow from the coaching staff to reset the drill. It was the kind of jaw-dropping play that reminds everyone why the Cowboys took a chance on him. Still, Milton is raw, no question. He's struggling at times with reads and holding the ball too long. But when he lets it fly and trusts the play, the upside is ridiculous. Quarterback coach Scott Tolzien has been working closely with him on mechanics, particularly his release point and follow-through. What's encouraging is how coachable Milton has been. He's staying late after practice, working on foot drills, asking questions in film sessions, and absorbing everything like a sponge. Teammates have taken note too. Veteran wideout Brandon Cooks told reporters that Milton's arm is the strongest I've ever seen, and that's coming from someone who's caught passes from Drew Brees and Tom Brady. Don't be surprised if Milton eventually becomes a serious long-term project for Dallas. In a quarterback market that gets more expensive every year, having a raw but high upside talent like Milton in the building could pay off down the road in a big way. Meanwhile, another fresh face in the building making some early waves is wide receiver Jonathan Mingo. After a quiet start, Mingo is starting to settle in and showcase the traits that made him a second-round pick in Carolina just last year. Traded to Dallas in a low-key but strategic move, Mingo is already showing flashes of why the Cowboys targeted him. He's built like a linebacker but moves with the fluidity of a seasoned wideout. In practice, he's been operating mostly in the slot, giving Dak a big body target who can break tackles and stretch the seam. One particularly impressive moment came during a 7-on-7 period where Mingo took a short slant, broke through two defenders, and picked up an additional 20 yards after the catch. It was a simple play on paper, but one that demonstrated his physicality and potential role in this offense. The Cowboys seem to be tinkering with formations that feature Mingo alongside CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Tolbert, suggesting they see him as a versatile chess piece. He's not just depth, he could be a key component of the offensive strategy moving forward. Mingo is also reportedly building early chemistry with both Dak and Milton. He's been part of extra throwing sessions after practice, and seems determined to make the most of this fresh opportunity. Remember, Dallas needs reliable depth at receiver. Michael Gallup is still trying to rediscover his pre-injury form, and while Cooks is solid, he's getting older. If Mingo can emerge as a legitimate third option or situational mismatch, the Cowboys' passing game could get a major boost. All of this development on offense comes at a critical time. With questions around the running game post-Tony Pollard and a retooled offensive line, the Cowboys are going to need their aerial attack to do more heavy lifting. That means the connection between Dak and his pass catchers has to be sharper than ever. From what we're seeing in minicamp, that work is already well underway. And it's not just the stars getting reps. Young players like Jalen Brooks, rookie Ryan Flournoy, and tight end Luke Schoonmaker are all getting extended looks. Mike McCarthy is running intense, situational drills meant to simulate late-game scenarios, and the focus is clearly on execution and communication. The coaching staff seems determined to avoid the kind of mental breakdowns that plagued them in past postseasons. But while offense is taking center stage, the defense isn't taking a backseat either. Micah Parsons is playing with a chip on his shoulder, angry about being left off the All-Pro first team last season. He's flying around the field, barking orders, and holding teammates accountable. You can feel the energy shift when he's on the field. Reports say he's also spending more time working with linebackers, suggesting that the coaching staff might use him in even more creative ways this season, maybe more middle blitzes, or even a few snaps in coverage just to confuse offenses. Parsons wants Defensive Player of the Year, and he's acting like it. Elsewhere on defense, Trayvon Diggs is healthy and back to his ball-hawking ways, while rookie cornerback Kalen Carson has been quietly putting together a solid minicamp. The battle in the secondary is fierce, with Jordan Lewis, Darren Bland, and Israel Mukumu all fighting for snaps. Defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer is already implementing a more physical, press-heavy scheme that could finally fix the inconsistency we saw last year. He wants these DBs up in the faces of receivers and is emphasizing tackling fundamentals. One coach described Zimmer's presence as a complete culture shift for the defensive unit. So, if you're a Cowboys fan, there's a lot to be optimistic about right now. You've got a locked-in QB in Prescott, a high-upside rookie in Joe Milton, a physical wideout in Mingo beginning to emerge, and a defense that looks determined to dominate from day one. But it all starts in these minicamp sessions. This is where team chemistry is born. This is where timing, trust, and leadership get forged. And this year, the Cowboys aren't treating it like just another offseason box to check. They're treating it like the beginning of a redemption story. And across the league, guys like George Pickens are setting the bar high. It's one thing to talk about wanting to be great. It's another to show up every day and put it on tape. Pickens is doing just that, and if the Steelers can keep him engaged and give him the ball more consistently, look out. That guy could end up leading the AFC in receiving yards if things fall his way. It's performances like that that remind us why the offseason isn't quiet at all. These reps matter. These flashes turn into starting roles, and these moments in June can lead to game-winning touchdowns in January. So whether you're following Pickens' meteoric rise or zeroing in on every snap from Dak, Milton, and Mingo in Dallas, now is the time to pay attention. The pieces are being put into place. And for the Cowboys, every practice is another step closer to either a breakthrough or another heartbreak. The difference might just lie in the details, and those are being worked out right now in the Texas heat. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more exclusive updates, and ring the bell so you never miss a single piece of Cowboys or NFL news. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.